And sunshine on Tuesday with a passing shower, high 75. Looking ahead to Wednesday, partly sunny and warm, midweek high 80. Warm with periods of clouds and sun on Thursday, high 81. I'm Ruth O'Brien on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Do you really want to take shots the rest of your life just to lose weight? NJ Diet's typical results are twice as fast as weight loss injections without any of the side effects. Plus, you learn proper portion control and develop healthy eating habits. With NJ Diet's 40-day program, you'll lose 20 to 40-plus pounds, contractually guaranteed. Lose weight quickly the healthy and natural way with NJ Diet. Locations in Skokie and Oak Brook. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or schedule your consult today at njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, visit surroundchicago.com. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
Today, millions of people all across America are building a life in recovery from addiction and mental illness, helping themselves
and helping each other, with friends, family, and community lending their strength and support.
Join the Voices for Recovery.
Together, we are stronger.
For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders, for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This live program is sponsored by Safer USA OT Media Group. AM 560, The Answer. It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Well, welcome to On Target Radio. And it's going to be an evening, that's for sure. We're going to talk a little bit about the Protect Illinois Communities Act, just to kind of refresh your memory since we're getting close. How far is January 1st?
3.5 months.
3.5 months. You got 3.5 months to figure all this out. And we're going to talk about that. Tough week for Joe Biden. Isn't every week a tough week for Joe Biden?
Well, it seems like it to me, but...
Yeah, so they highlighted this particular week, so I hope it was bad. We'll find out. And then McCarthy is launching impeachment against Biden. So that's in addition to having a bad week. So that works out. And then we're going to talk about lock and load 'em. It can't be coincidental that you're just kind of like popping up and down over the
I'm on my tippy
monitor
toes.
there. Yes, you need to grow another couple inches. It must be coincidental that they're ending the bail. Cash bail thing as they are taking the guns away from everybody.
I don't think it is. I think this is how they finally realize their communist utopia.
And the next article, speaking of which, is this. And rest assured, if you live in Chicago, rest assured, we are going to talk about the fact that the mayor has a strategic plan for more robberies. I swear, you can't make that up.
Well, to handle the more robberies.
I thought he was going to do them.
He claims he has a plan, but it doesn't really seem like it.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. And then we got an announcement to make, which we put off to the end of the show so we don't like jump out the window. Well, that's how we'll get out probably. Big dive. The Protect Illinois Communities Act. So let's talk just a little bit about what a lot of people that I've talked to are talking about is that there's no way that it'll pass Supreme Court test. And I agree with that. Pretty much everything that's in there has been ruled.
On its face, it seems unconstitutional.
Yeah. So pretty much everything that's in that has been ruled unconstitutional. So I think it's almost, knock wood, pro forma that it's going to bite the dust. Here's the problem. How long is it to January 1st? 2.5 months?
3.5 months.
3.5 months.
October, November, December, half of
On January 1st, it's the law.
Right.
Now, we were on Wilson versus Cook County, what, I forget, 13 years?
I think, 13, 14, something like that.
So the big issue that stands out is, for those of you who go, well, it's going to get overturned, and I agree, I think it will. The big issue is when will it get?
Right.
Because on January 2nd, you've either complied with the law or you are, well, for most people, I don't know anybody that owns one gun, which would be a misdemeanor.
I mean, there are a few people, but most of our friends own more than one gun.
And as soon as you tick above one, now you're into felony land. Yeah. So that's the first thing you need to be aware of. The second thing you need to be aware of, Illinois cannot pass a law that stands in Indiana. And you don't necessarily have to move to Indiana, but if you know somebody in Indiana, it's that. See, they can't prevent you from owning it. They can only say you can't have it here.
Right.
So if you got a summer home or a hunting lodge somewhere or wherever, anything out of the state of Illinois,
right, exactly,
you're fine. That'll work. I met a guy at SHOT Show, this past SHOT Show, and he has an interesting idea, which he has implemented, and that is people, I guess it's, you sign up to be not a dealer, but a representative, whatever. You build a small warehouse, like, the rental warehouse things, and there's a bunch of safes in there, and you rent a safe, and only you have the key to that safe. I said, do you have one close to the Illinois border in Indiana? Yeah. And he goes, no, but I'm surprised we haven't heard from anybody yet, because that would be perfect.
It would be perfect.
Yeah, just 13 feet past the Illinois line.
Absolutely.
So just bear that in mind. We know people in Indiana.
We do.
Some of them by blood, some of them by anger, but we know people in Indiana. Speaking of which, one of those people couldn't be here tonight because, no, he can't come to this show.
He's on vacation.
Right, he's got to go to Arizona, which this time of year I'm not so sure, but, well, it is what it is because we're going to be there next weekend.
Not by choice.
No, gun rights policy conference.
Right.
That's a choice.
Well, sort of, but we didn't pick the dates.
Oh, no, we didn't pick dates. We picked cherries. Just to go over briefly so that you kind of get an understanding for what this is about. And I don't want to beat it to death, but you really need to listen to some of this stuff here. So they talk about assault weapons, and it's the old hackneyed thing about assault weapons. They give you a list of stuff. But here's the part that is interesting, and I don't think everybody totally grasps this.
Yes.
It says, I can't read through the microphone. You wouldn't think that would be a problem, would you? Semi-automatic rifle that has a fixed magazine with the capacity to accept more than 10 rounds. Okay, fine. Then it goes on, and they talk about a detachable magazine. Now, here's the catch. What people are saying is, well, then I got to get a 10-round magazine. If it's capable of holding a magazine,
capable of accepting,
then it's illegal.
Any size of a magazine.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, most semi-automatic handguns, if you could find a magazine or make a magazine that will hold a larger number of rounds, that gun is going to be illegal.
Somebody actually makes a drum feed for a Glock pistol.
Sure.
Even I wouldn't,
Well,
my
yeah.
holster won't hold it.
It's one of those things. I mean, I think I would put that in the category of bump stock and some other things. It's because you can.
Right.
It's not because it has any actual usefulness. It's just fun. It's just because you can.
Why did you climb that mountain? Because
it was there. Yeah.
Because it was there, exactly. Which is the only good reason I ever
right.
came
Why?
up to doing
Why
it.
did you load your Glock with a drum magazine?
Yeah.
Because it was there.
Because it was there, sitting there staring at me. The things that they list that make it an assault weapon is any semi-automatic rifle that has one or more. It used to be two or more.
Mm-hmm.
And for this bill, it's one or more, which makes it really tough. Pistol grip or thumb hole stock, any feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by the non-trigger hand, folding telescoping thumb hole or detachable stock that's otherwise foldable, adjustable. I mean, this takes out about everything. A flash suppressor, a grenade launcher. Now, before you laugh about grenade launcher, which is kind of cool, but what they use it for is shooting like flares. Flare grenades and stuff like that, yeah.
Sure.
A shroud attached to the barrel, which is there so you don't burn your hand.
Right.
Right.
It has no function of lethality.
Anything other than you can shoot better if your hand's not
protecting your hand.
Yeah,
right.
burned to a crisp. And what else? So then they talk about the fixed magazine.
Yesterday in our meeting, they were talking about 870s, like Remington 870 pump action shotgun.
Yeah, and that's that's not quite, because I'll tell you what it says. Let me go to. Well, I'll need the pistol. So the semi-automatic pistol has a capacity to accept. See, a semi-automatic pistol that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine, or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine. Okay, which most semi-automatic pistols.
That's all.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all.
If the firearm has one or more of the following: threaded barrel. So for people who are into silencers.
Although silencers were already illegal in Illinois.
Well, you can get a permit for it, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A second pistol grip or another feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip held by the non-trigger hand, shroud attached to the barrel, flash suppressor, capacity to accept a detachable magazine at some location outside of the pistol grip, or a buffer tube, arm brace. They just listed, it's a litany of that stuff. And then they talk about 15 rounds. Any shotgun with a revolving cylinder, and there are some, a semi-automatic shotgun that has one or more of the following. They're real big on one or more these days.
Yeah.
A pistol grip or thumb hole stock, any feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by a non-trigger hand, folding or thumb hole stock, grenade launcher, fixed magazine with capacity of more than 5 rounds. I'm trying to remember, I think my Benelli Super Black Eagle. Anybody out there have a Benelli Super Black Eagle? I think that'll hold more than 5 rounds.
Probably. I think mine only holds 5.
Is it 5? I don't know. If anybody knows of
I've got a Remington 870 Express. I believe it only holds 5.
If anybody knows of a shotgun that'll hold more than 5 rounds in the
I know there are some.
We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the music come up. All right, when we return, we're gonna get into Joe Biden's bad day, which is gonna be fun.
Content that you can take with you anywhere. That's why we invented the SalemPodcastNetwork.com. You'll find all the great hosts on this radio station, plus a few more, like Charlie Kirk, Dinesh D'Souza, Trish Regan, Jenna Ellis, and Dennis and Julie. There's literally no end to what we can teach you. It's like radio on demand. And just like radio, it's always on. Go find out what you're missing. Download the app, SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class plus notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I feel better. I look better. I have more energy, everything. And I'm 60 years old.
Oh my gosh, you need to share every bit of the success. I'm in love with them, and I'm going to keep on taking them till the end of time because my body clearly is doing something with Balance of Nature. I mean, my skin looks good, and I've got energy, and I walk, talk fast, and you can see that I'm up with these fruit and vegetables.
Happy National Fruits and Veggies Month. Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer today to receive $35 off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the 100% drug-free Relief Factor. We all deal with aches and pains in our day-to-day lives, and I have had my fair share, including injuries like a detached quad muscle that I can tell you fell into the category of really bad pain. But I've been able to manage the pain by taking Relief Factor. It helps your own body to attack and fight off sources of inflammation, the source of most of our aches and pains, and I've loved it for years now. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick starter pack for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com, call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
We use new equipment. We have new equipment, and it sort of surprised me that we broke into a commercial break there. So we'll know better on the next one. But I want to say a couple more quick things, and then we're going to get on to Joe Biden, which is everybody's high point. I'm sure one of the things I want to talk about is people are saying that you can't own magazines over 10 or 15. That's actually not true. You can own them, but here's the limitations. If you have it, first of all, they have to be pre-law. You have to own them before they pass the law.
Okay.
Now, how they're ever going to justify that, who knows? How can you prove that?
No, I mean, because you don't fill out a 4473 to buy a magazine, so I don't know how they could ever, unless they force you to produce receipts, but do people keep receipts? But you gave me a whole bunch for like Christmas one year or my birthday or something, so I don't have receipts for those.
I could swim in magazines. I got some.
You do. You have a lot. Your shelf collapsed.
Well, it did actually. I had an ammunition storage unit, and it collapsed under the weight of the ammunition.
All this I think it was like a domino effect of like the top shelf.
It started
was overloaded and collapsed, and then it made the second one collapse, etc.
What are you going to do? But real quickly, so you can own this as long as you keep it on your private property or somebody else's private property with their permission. Can't be public accessible. You can have it while on the premises of a dealer or gunsmith for working on the gun, and while you're engaged in legal use in like shooting at a range or whatever. But it says range, a licensed range, and then I don't remember ever encountering a licensed range. That little part worries me a little bit, but I'm not sure. And then while traveling or to and from these locations, as long as the magazines are unloaded, locked, and not accessible. The other thing that I wanted to point out was transferring. If you want to transfer ammunition, anything like that, it's gotten a little tougher. They can only be transferred to an heir, to an individual residing in another state who will maintain it in that state, or a dealer licensed as a federal firearms dealer. And that's it. You can't give it to your buddy or whatever. It's got to be one of those.
So my question is, so the other option is, so option 1 is get rid of it.
Right.
Option 2 is register.
Magazines you don't register.
No, but anything.
Gun. Yeah.
So now, do we know yet if there's a cost for that?
They haven't said yet because they don't have anything in place to
I was
going to
say I don't think we have any direction or knowledge about how you register, what it's going to cost, if anything. I mean, obviously we don't want to register our guns. I'm not promoting that. Please don't email me. I'm not saying that's something I want people to do. I'm just saying that's your option.
Yeah. And here's the thing, if you transfer or sell any of this stuff, within 10 days after you do it, like we're talking about large capacity magazines, as they call them, you send it, give it to an heir or someone out of Illinois. You have to send them, the state, their name and address and their information. And then the person who receives it has 60 days to respond and send it in and said that you really did that. Welcome
they are going to be swimming in paperwork.
Yeah. Says the person to whom a large capacity ammunition feeding device is transferred shall, within 60 days of the transfer, notify the Illinois State Police of their acquisition and comply with the requirements.
They're going to have, JCAR is going to have to change that because no one can administrate that. It's too unwieldy.
Well, but they'll hold you liable.
Oh, well.
It doesn't matter that it's unwieldy. It's a typical boondoggle. It's made to discourage people. And it's made to get them just all turned in and be done with it. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
But
so, like I said, the next 3.5 months are going to be interesting because this is the last 3.5 months that we can actually defend ourselves before the January 1st supposed utopia of no one has any guns except for criminals, and no cash bail starts tomorrow.
And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Before we do that, let's just wanted to point out something I found heart-rending. I really did. It was heart-rending. Joe Biden
I found it heartwarming.
Warming or warming? I missed that.
Warming.
It was Joe Biden has a favorite journalist. Apparently, there's one journalist on earth that has not torn him to shreds at this point.
Well, until last Sunday.
Until last Sunday. And his favorite journalist is a guy named Ignatius, and he writes for the Washington Post. And it says Joe Biden has been reading this guy's stuff for decades.
Right.
And he just came out and said, Joe, don't run.
The headline is literally, President Biden should not run again in 2024.
And that's his favorite journalist.
He cited a survey that found 69% of Democrats think President Biden at age 80 is too old to be president for a second term. So that was how last week started for him. And then on Monday, he became the first president on September 11th not to go to any of the memorials for September 11th. He sent Kamala Word Salad Harris to stand in for him, which I'm sure was wonderful. She went to the New York 9/11 ceremony. So yeah, he was busy coming back from a trip to Vietnam and could not attend any memorials.
Wonder George. George, have you heard that Kamala Harris thing where she's just totally incomprehensible?
Which that does not narrow it down in any way.
She's talking about like today and tomorrow and yesterday and
tomorrow.
That still doesn't narrow it down in any way. The last couple of things I heard were one where she was talking about environmental justice.
No, this is she
which
literally
was utter rambling.
She literally says today's today, yesterday's today was yesterday, tomorrow's today is tomorrow.
That's all she basically.
To be fair, that's just how they explain things to Biden in the Oval Office. Where he goes, well, what day is it? Well, today's yesterday, sir, and yesterday is today.
She's just repeating what she heard.
They have to keep him confused so he doesn't know when the 9/11 thing is.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Tuesday, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy announced the formal impeachment inquiry. Now, this is just an inquiry, so it's like another level of investigation. But he said that 3 committee chairmen have already been investigating. And by doing an impeachment inquiry, they can require more documents. So they can ask, subpoena more documents from more people and make it more difficult for them to withhold documents and witnesses.
It's the inflation thing I find interesting. A lot of people don't understand inflation. Well, they probably understand inflation. They just don't understand how it's measured.
Right.
But it's up 3.7%. But what was it last year?
Right. I was trying to find, I think that's year over year. So if they say 3.7%, that just only goes back, this was for August, it only goes back to August 2022. So then I believe last year, I've been hearing these headlines, I believe last year was like 9 point something. So we're actually up around like 13% from before Biden took office.
Now, the interesting thing is Biden's son, Hunter. I feel nothing for Hunter. There's nothing about this that even remotely bothers me. No. Hunter has been taken to the bar, as it were. They have indicted him. He's going before. Isn't he going before a grand jury? I think it's before a grand.
I'm not sure, but on Thursday he was finally indicted or charged with 3 felony gun counts.
And his deal that he had with the Justice Department fell through.
Yeah, that was weeks ago.
He thought he was going to get a walk on this deal because his father is the president. If your father's the president of the United States and he can't get you out of something, you're really in.
You really messed up.
Yeah, you're in deep.
And then Friday was when the United Auto Workers strike started, which, of course, Joe Biden has always been like pro-union, yay, go, do this. But the union is demanding a 46% pay increase. They initially were saying a 32-hour work week. Now that it seems like maybe they're backing off of that, and they want other benefits. But I did read that their starting pay is like $15 and change per hour, which
the United Auto Workers?
Yeah, it seems a little low.
That's for a training probationary period.
I would think,
okay,
that
still,
can't be for a full union guy.
Still pretty surprising. So, I guess a few years ago they had to make some concessions because the automakers were in danger of just completely going under, and then they would have no jobs. So they were given the option: take a pay cut or have no job. So,
and we're going to take another break. And when we return, we're going to talk about McCarthy's launching impeachment against Biden. Yay! Mm-hmm. All that and more. We return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560. The Answer.
Brandon Tatum is confident about Trump.
4 indictment Trump championship, which is pretty much making fun of these fake indictments. Trump is going to win the championship on those. The gut feeling that I have based on the totality of circumstances is that Trump probably didn't do none of this stuff. It's all a witch hunt. They thought it would hurt his chances, and it just made him bigger and powerful. Then he's turned into the Incredible Hulk now.
The Officer Tatum Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Ted Lindner. The hunt is on for the person who shot and killed an L.A. County Sheriff's deputy while sitting in his patrol car in Palmdale on Saturday. Sheriff Robert Luna saying that the deputy, Ryan Klinkenbroomer, was found by a Good Samaritan and rushed to the hospital, pronounced dead there.
He was a son. He was a grandson. He had just been engaged 4 days ago. He had so much ahead of him.
Security video of the scene showing an older Toyota rolling up towards the deputy's vehicle. And the president of the United Auto Workers, Shawn Fain, saying it's not the union's fault they're on strike.
The reason we're in this situation right now is because all 3 of the big 3 companies chose to wait. They chose not to negotiate for the 8 weeks we had. We started this back in July, and we told them then, don't wait till the last minute or you're going to find yourself in a bad position.
Fain making an appearance on Sunday morning on CBS's Face the Nation. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Wealth Health Radio. The biggest fears that people have is, do I have enough money to retire?
Retirement doesn't have to be complicated.
Make sure that you're going through retirement with confidence.
Learn principles of income planning.
There's a lot of different facets that you need to take into consideration when you're retiring.
Tune into Wealth Health Radio with Joe Murphy, noon to 1 p.m. Sundays on AM 560. The Answer.
Rick here from Forever Remodeling. You probably heard me talk about how our unique design-build process removes the normal problems of hiring a design and construction company separately. But just don't take my word for it. Listen to these customer reviews. Kelly W. says, from consultation to design to construction, my remodel flowed seamlessly. Adity J says, we were thrilled to have a full-service remodeling firm take all the guesswork out of our project. And Caesar V says, Forever Remodeling made what could have been a very stressful project extremely easy for us. They finished on time and did amazing work. Kitchens, bathrooms, basements, additions, whole house remodeling, whatever you need, our start-to-finish process delivers stunning results without the hassles, headaches, and stress. For a free consultation, call Forever Remodeling at 847-809-3355 or visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number foreverremodeling.com.
Do you want your child to come back from school hating God, America, and you? If the answer is no, the solution is St. John's Lutheran School in Lombard. I am the man, Cal. Look, I'm a Christian guy with 2 daughters out in this world, and it can get very scary. St. John's Lutheran School Lombard is the only school in all of Illinois that offers the Hillsdale College curriculum for kindergarten through 8th grade. It's a game changer, a nurturing environment with a Christian faith, traditional values, and critical thinking that teaches kids to think for themselves, not what to think. What a great thing to do for your child or grandchild. Strong academics with the Hillsdale curriculum and strong character. Go to stjohnslombard.com. That's Saint, S-T, johnslombard.com. stjohnslombard.com. It's in Lombard, Glen Ellen, Wheaton, Downers Grove, and all places nearby. stjohnslombard.com.
We know that sometimes it might be difficult to hear AM 560, like when you drive under that bridge, or you get too close to power lines, or when you're surrounded by gigantic concrete and steel buildings, which is why we've made it easy to listen to us whenever you want, wherever you might be. We're always streaming at 560theanswer.com and on the AM 560 mobile app. You can also get us on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and we're on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. You can listen wherever and whenever to AM 560, The Answer. We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
So, if I get pulled over and cuffed and thrown in the back of a patrol car and I get taken to jail, and after they strip search me and cavity search me and whip me and all that stuff and assign me to some big ugly roommate who is going to force himself on. After all that's over, I get to go home, right?
Maybe. The problem, so we're talking about cash bail ending tomorrow, which is September 18th. That's so random. But so here's the problem. It will largely be up to prosecutors to decide when to actually seek detention, and then they will have to prove their case before a judge within 24 to 48 hours. So it's problematic on both sides. It's problematic for a non-threatening person like yourself, a person who doesn't have an extensive criminal record, but you're a gun nut, and so they're going to make a case that you should not be potentially, let me just say, potentially they can make a case that you should not be let out. But then for these really bad people, for people who have committed violent acts, they only have 24 to 48 hours to present a case, to build a case for them to stay in jail until their trial happens. And it's not like every prosecutor has one case. They've got like what, a dozen, 20, 24?
I mean, they have stacks of them sometimes.
Right. I mean, every prosecutor has an entire list, an entire docket of cases. So this is very problematic as far as I can see. Now, of course, Kim Foxx thinks it'll be fine. Kim Foxx says that she acknowledges people will be quick to blame the law when someone commits a violent crime after being released under the new system. I don't know why. Why shouldn't we? But anyway, she said something will happen. We all know that because we don't have a crystal ball. We are dealing with humans, and humans have a tendency to do human things, like mess up. It will. She calls murdering people messing up. I love that too. That's precious.
Some people did some things.
Yeah. It will not tell the true story of the literally 90% of those who go out and nothing happens. How? 90%. Where does she come up with this number? She's pulling this number out of her butt. I mean, literally, like, she can't possibly know that's a number. I'm sorry.
You can say that on the radio. Not on Salem.
Not on Salem.
Technically, perhaps.
Well, the interesting thing
it's metaphorical.
That is an interesting thing because they're saying 90% of the people are not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And yet somebody gets shot and 99% of gun owners are responsible.
Right.
I mean, that's typical liberal logic. It
Oh,
works in their favor. That's fine.
Absolutely. Now, there are detractors still. McHenry County State's Attorney Patrick Keneally said, I think there's going to be a significant cost to this in terms of harm and misery caused. And I believe there was somebody else. One official who spoke to the Sun-Times predicted obviously under anonymity, predicted their county could exceed jail capacity within months of the law going into effect, largely because judges would be holding people they would have let out before when they posted bond. But now posting bond is not even an option to ensure that they show up for court.
It's these people are criminals. Okay, they've been arrested. Sure, it does occasionally happen. Somebody who's innocent gets caught
until
in
proven
that.
guilty.
I get that. It does happen. And those are the very people that I tend to defend in court. But here's the thing. You look at the city of Chicago and a mayor who says I got robbery. He admits, he literally, by doing this, is admitting that when they let all these people out, the robberies are going to spike.
Mm-hmm.
They accept that. That's like, an acceptable cost for doing something stupid.
Yeah, so the interesting thing, too, is that, I mean, when did crime start getting really bad in Chicago? Because Cook County began implementing pretrial reforms in 2017. That
Seriously?
sounds like it could be causal, including requiring judges to release defendants under the least restrictive conditions needed to ensure appearance and public safety. It also set up a separate pretrial division to handle bond hearings, which I think that, having pretrial services is not a new concept. Lots of states have done that. But 2017, well, I know in 2020 we had a lot of crime.
Yeah, crime in Chicago surges the way my kid grows. It's like a whole bunch and then
Cycles,
nothing at all and then a whole bunch and then 2020. It's funny how letting half of everybody out of prison will increase crime.
Oh, I think you're exaggerating.
Totally counterintuitive,
Yeah, I don't think it really matters.
But anyway, so the purge starts tomorrow, and like I said, we only have 3.5 more months of being able to defend ourselves properly with our semi-automatic weapons. So the purge starts tomorrow.
Well, start picking out targets in fields of fire. That's the only thing I can say.
I've already got a mask.
A mask? Is it like a Nixon mask?
Ski mask?
Actually, well, it's Reagan, but same Point Break theme.
Yeah, I like it.
So, fortunately, Chicago has a plan.
which we'll have to cover next.
Which we'll have
segment.
to cover next segment because what is this? Radio? It goes by so fast.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more on Target Radio after these messages.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I've been taking this now for about 4 months, and I'm noticing a difference in my energy, and I am 89 years old. My mind is clear. I'm doing great. I am really for this product.
I'm 76. I'm really a believer. In fact, I even have one of my doctors taking them now. I told him, I said, the difference in my energy after taking them 2 weeks was miraculous. And I sleep better. I'm really pleased.
Happy National Fruits and Veggies Month. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer today to receive $35 off your first order. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-2468-751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
Well, unless you're living under a rock, you probably have figured out that armed robbery has become a surging problem in the city of Chicago. As of September 10th, robberies are up 24% citywide compared to this time in 2022 and 45% compared to 2021. In the police district that includes Wicker Park, Bucktown, and parts of Logan Square, robberies are up 62% from the same time last year. And this is what the mayor said about it. Look, I understand the problem. I do. It's not lost on anyone that the rise in robberies has left a great deal of trepidation and anxiety. Our police department is deploying a strategy to respond and to address this growing dynamic. And I'm grateful that there is a strategic plan that is also coordinating efforts with the state as well as the county. And that's it. No details. Just, we have a plan. We're working the plan.
Trust us.
Just trust us. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, the article that I wrote for Illinois Review ended with, they were giving the same sort of drivel, and it just ended, well, it worked for Detroit. Yeah. All right, speaking of drivel, armed robberies in Chicago. We have Roland on the line from Arlington Heights who has an interesting point to make about armed robberies. Roland, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, guys. Don't forget that the Chicago police, they have a policy of terminating pursuits for armed robberies.
Sure, that makes total sense. Yeah, this is an armed robber. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking. You know, I didn't used to like the dailies. And Roland, you remember the dailies? I don't know how old you are.
I'm in my 70s.
Oh, you were okay. So am I. So
Contemporary.
you remember the dailies. I never really cared for the dailies. You know what? Now I look back on them with fondness because they were just like, you remember, I grew up in the west suburbs, but they just like drew a line and they said, you know what, to the gangs and stuff, we'll fight you over here. You cross this line and it ain't going to be a fight. I mean, and they've lost control. What area do you live in? Arlington Heights, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. How's it doing out there? You doing? Is the crime rising?
No. Okay. The last I heard, it was about violent crime was about 1/10 the rate of Chicago.
That's not a lot to brag about, though, but it's not bad. I appreciate the call, Roland. Thank you very much.
All right. One other thing.
Okay.
When you terminate a pursuit, you now introduce reasonable doubt to the prosecution down the line because you've lost sight of the perpetrator.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You're not looking to make sense of this, I hope, because there's no sense to be made. A bunch of us who were ex-cops were sitting at a table having dinner at a meeting that was coming up. And we were talking about everything you could imagine except law enforcement. None of us would bring up law enforcement. And finally, one of the guys at the table said, you know what, I'm going to say what you guys won't. I wouldn't do this again. I liked it when I did it, but I would not do it today. Because doing it today, you have no idea if anybody's watching your back at all. So anyway, that was that's going to be like the last phone call we ever take.
It probably will. Yeah, we have some bad news.
We are going off the air. We've lost our time slot. George kicked us out, actually. No, George didn't do that. But there he goes for the mic.
I mean, I had some input.
So yeah, this is the great good night. We have no plans. We don't know what we're going to do. We're in a sea of darkness, floating, barely keeping alive. But that's it.
You both get to live out your passion of watching Sunday night WNBA games.
Check, please.
Maybe I'll finally get to watch like an award show. I do like watching the red carpets of the award shows.
There you go.
Is that on at our?
I haven't. Yeah, a lot of them are Sunday nights. I haven't seen an award show for about 10 years.
You just spend your time calling and trolling whoever gets this time slot.
That would be funny. We'll be the new John from Crete. We were saying, I was saying yesterday that it's too bad we don't know how to get a hold of John from Crete because we would love to have him on our last show. I think he was probably on our first show.
Yeah, yeah.
And every show for the following 3 years.
You're right.
And so here's the sort of irony. Today is our 11th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the date of our 11th year. So 2 weeks ago, I was going around saying, we're going to go into our 12th year. Well, guess what? No, we're not. We're not going into our 12th year.
You spoke too soon.
I spoke too soon. I probably jinxed it.
I asked, I thought maybe Eric would call in, and I asked one of our former co-hosts to call in.
Yeah.
Doug Mayhall has called a couple of times, but he's hung up every time I pick up the phone. So I don't know if he's
Are you
just trolling.
serious?
He might be trolling me. Or he might be having an issue with his phone.
Yeah. He could have a man crush on you. You don't know.
Everyone has a man crush on me, David.
No, that's every man would like to crush you.
No, there are women with man crushes on me.
I'm not sure how that works.
It's
2023. You don't need to be sure. You just need to be tolerant.
Have you ever had that little tickle in the back of your throat that like you're going to throw up, you know?
Yeah, it's called bad tequila.
No, but we've had, 11 years is a long time. You joined the show 1 year in, I think, probably.
A little bit less. It was
Well,
like
yeah.
I think you started in September and I joined in like the following June.
Okay, so you've been here the whole time.
Almost.
And you don't look the worse for wear. You apparently survived it. It's a Sunday night ritual, you know.
It is.
It feels weird that.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird for you.
Yeah.
I've already kind of started easing out the door.
No, I'm boiling actually, but yeah, it's been the article that you wrote about us in The Shooter is I have that framed. It's on my wall because that was probably one of the best things I've ever seen about this show, particularly the little inserts that you had.
Okay, well, we've got 4.5 more minutes to reminisce after this
We'll
break.
reminisce after this break. That's it. We'll be back with more on Target Radio. You're listening to AM 560.
The answer.
We can tell you about the incredible success we bring to local businesses, but it's better when it comes directly from our satisfied clients. Here's just one example.
After searching for a new vendor to handle my search marketing campaign, I contacted Salem Surround after seeing the great work they did for another restoration company in the different market. Their team of experts recommended a mix of multiple tactics designed to get my business the most quality leads at the lowest cost, making my marketing budget stretch further. In our first year partnering with Salem Surround, we recorded our best year to date, and I've told many people how blessed I was to find them. The representative answered the phone every time I called and quickly addressed any questions or concerns I had.
Let Salem Surround give you an absolutely free audit of your current marketing and show you what your competition is doing. Then we can come up with a personalized plan that's perfect for your needs. Visit surroundchicago.com and let our marketing experts help you achieve real success. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
When you take the time to really get to know your body, you find that the root causes of its aches and pains are usually simple. The older we get, the more exercise we undertake, and the more injuries we sustain, the more inflammation our bodies suffer from. It's so simple. And my answer to that pain is Relief Factor, which I discovered years ago and take every single day to great effect. It helps the body to fight off inflammation, and I've never found anything that worked better in my life. I can't recommend it enough. 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference. relieffactor.com.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
Here's our last phone call. Rick from Wheaton. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, David. Hey, Gretchen.
What can we do for you?
Hey, I got a couple quick questions. So, number one is, of course, where are you guys going? So we want to know where to find you guys in the future. And then the next question is what do your guys' suggestions as to what's the best place to put our time and money and effort in order to fight back against the crazy legislation in the state of Illinois?
So the second one first. There's a number of suits going on. ISRA has one in federal court. There are others. The one that we have in federal court is particularly a big deal, and everybody needs money. We need it. Everybody who's doing this needs it. Ours could go up to $1 million. We clearly don't have that kind of money. So, any donation whatsoever to anybody that, is legitimately doing this is well accepted. But, we really would love to get donations for the ISRA because we could hit $1 million on this thing.
Yeah, Illinois State Rifle Association.
And the what was the other question?
George was talking in my ear. I missed.
Oh, where are we going to find you guys in the future? But but I was also thinking of not just ISRA, but I was thinking off the top of my head, Gun Owners of America is another one.
Sure, there's a number of outfits, but ISRA is your home brew. You know, if you live in Illinois, ISRA is your we're your daddy.
So David is hoping to be invited to do a breakout session at the Freedom Summit, the AM 560 Freedom Summit in November. We're not sure if that's going to happen or not, but hoping.
We're hoping, yeah. And I've been talking with a very good friend of mine about doing serious podcasting. I mean, we did it for a while, but I mean, actually seriously getting into doing it and doing this type of thing. So you might just kind of keep tabs on our website.
Yeah, Facebook page. I don't know that we have. Well, I guess we do have a website. I don't know that it's updated much, but definitely Facebook, and I think
the Facebook page is still going to exist.
Oh yeah, we're not taking that down.
Well, you also have a YouTube channel where they can see all the old shows,
Sure.
and
That's
if
true.
you do new
We
stuff,
do.
it'll probably be there as well.
As long as we don't
So
get
subscribe.
deplatformed. Yeah, as long as we don't get deplatformed by YouTube completely. They did suspend us for a little while
50-50
there. But,
chance.
But yeah, it's only a matter of time till we get deplatformed.
If we do that, believe me, we'll put the word out because we didn't do it really seriously before. But now I'm thinking about.
What do you mean we didn't do this? I gave up every Sunday night for a year and a half.
But I'm talking about to the level that some people that we know who made millions of dollars did it.
Okay, well.
And now I'm looking much more seriously at that sort of thing.
Okay.
So, because we had this, and I was very happy with this, but we don't have this, so now I got to be very happy with something else. That sounds a lot like Kamala Harris.
Yeah, it actually did.
It really does.
That was a word salad, if ever I've heard
That
one.
was a word salad, yeah. No, we appreciate you listening, and
I got a text message from our old friend Jim Extrand.
Yeah.
And I told him to call, but I guess he didn't do it.
well,
He didn't do it in time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim. Bye.
so that's it, and we appreciate everything everyone's done, and there will be no more On Target Radio.
We
but
appreciate your faithful listening.
you are listening to AM 560.
The answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Chico Metrics offers a secure online solution.